Hi, I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the books on my never-ending TBR. So I used to do this feature over on my blog, but I decided to move it onto this channel. So basically, I take 6 books off of my Goodreads TBR, and I talk about them and why I want to read them. Usually I use a random number generator to pick which ones I'm going to talk about, but today I just picked 6 that I happen to have around the house. So let's jump right in. First up, sitting at number 401 out of 450 on my Goodreads list is You'd Be Home Now by Kathleen Glasgow. This is a pretty recent addition to my TBR. I put it on there in September of 2021, which I think is when it came out. Yep. So this is by the same author as Girl in Pieces, which I really loved. So I definitely wanted to read this. And it is, I'll just read the description. For all of Emery's life, she's been told who she is. In town, she's the rich one, the great-great-granddaughter of the Mills founder. At school, she's hot Maddie Ward's younger sister. And at home, she's the good one, her stoner older brother, Joey's babysitter. Everything was turned on its head when she and Joey were in a car accident that killed Candy Montclair. The car accident that revealed just how bad Joey's drug habit was. And it goes on, but I'm not gonna continue. So it's about a girl dealing with an older brother who is a drug addict. So this sounds like it's going to be very emotional. I actually just got it out of the library recently, which is why I have it hanging around. So I'm gonna have this for when I'm in need of a good cry. So I will be reading this soon because I do have to return it to the library. I think on the 14th, but I'm probably gonna renew it. All right, next up, sitting at number 246 on my Goodreads list is A Wild Winter Swan by Gregory Maguire. So this is, I think, Gregory Maguire's most recent book. He might have put another one out by now. And I added it to my TBR in September of 2020. And I actually got it for Christmas that year. It was a new release, and I still haven't read it, obviously. I love Gregory Maguire. Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister is one of my favorite books, and I also really enjoyed Wicked and Mirror Mirror. So this is a retelling of The Six Swans, which is it's The Wild Swans, which is Hans Christian Andersen's version, but there's also The Six Swans, which is somebody else's version. Fairy tales. And he reimagines it in 1960s New York with an Italian-American protagonist. So I am excited to get to this one. I need to sometime soon. And the cover is great. And let's see. The covers on his are always great. So it is the hardcover, so it's kind of harder to, so it has that, and then it flips to give you, I love the covers on his book. They're some of my favorite covers ever. So not sure when I'm gonna get to it, but hopefully sometime soon. All right, sitting at number 193 on the list is another that I got for, I think, a birthday or Christmas and still haven't gotten to. This is Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller. I added this in October of 2018, which was a while ago now. I don't even know what this is about anymore. From the attic of Linton's, a dilapidated English country mansion, Frances Jellicoe sees them. Kara first, dark and beautiful, then Peter, striking and serious. The couple is spending the summer of 1969 in the room below hers, while Frances researches the architecture in the surrounding gardens. But she's distracted. Beneath a floorboard in her bathroom, she finds a peephole that gives her access to her neighbors' private lives. To Frances's surprise, Kara and Peter are keen to get to know her. It is the first occasion she has had to call anybody to call a friend, and before long they are spending every day together, eating lavish dinners, drinking bottle after bottle of wine, and smoking cigarettes until the ashes pile up on the crumbling furniture. Frances is dazzled, but as the hot summer rolls lazily on, it becomes clear that not everything is right between Kara and Peter. The stories that Kara tells don't quite add up, and Frances becomes increasingly entangled in the lives of the glamorous, hedonistic couple. The boundaries between truth and lies, right and wrong, begin to blur. Amid the decadence, a small crime brings on a bigger one, a crime so terrible that it will brand their lives forever. Okay, so I think that I might have added this to my TBR around the same time I was reading The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, I think. And I think this was like recommended for people that were fans of that. I did actually start this, like just the first few pages, but I wasn't in the right mood. I had other stuff going on, so I needed to put it down, but I do want to get back to this. It's been hanging around for a really long time. Right, next up, standing at number 12 on the TBR list is The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. This is the last Sarah Waters book that I have to read. I read all of her others. I added this to my TBR in May of 2016, which would have been right after I read my first 2 or 3 by her. So I read The Little Stranger, and then I bought Affinity and Tipping the Velvet, I think. And then I asked my mother for Fingersmith, The Night Watch, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. No, I read The Paying Guests by her, and then I asked for Tipping the Velvet. Okay. Anyway, so this is historical fiction in the 1940s, so right at the start of World War II. I don't really know much about it other than that. I'm actually not very big on World War II books. It's just not a period that interests me, which is kind of why I've put off reading this. A lot of her others are set in the Victorian era, and then I think The Little Stranger is post-World War II. But I do want to read this. I want to read everything she's written. She's an amazing writer. All right, standing at number 22 is The Alphabet of Thorn by Patricia A. McKillop. So I added this to my Goodreads TBR in October 2016, but I have been interested in reading this book since probably 2004, 2005. When I was a kid, I used to go to the library to wait for my mother to pick me up after school. And the table I sat at was right near the M section of the fiction. And I used to wander around in the stacks and look at covers, and I was obsessed with this cover. I mean, look at it. Ugh. I was obsessed with all of Patricia McKillop's covers. Actually, they're beautiful. But this one in particular, I really liked. I did take it out of the library around that time and read a few pages and just wasn't interested, but I do want to read it. And then I got it out of the library here. When I saw that they had it, I was like, oh my God, I need to read it. So what is this actually about? It's a fantasy about a girl named Nepenthe. Don't know how to pronounce that, who works in the Royal Library translating books. And then she is brought this book that's defied translation. It's written in the language of thorns, and she becomes obsessed with it. So I'm really excited to read this just because it's something that I've wanted to read for so long, and this cover just absolutely captured my imagination as a kid. Oh yeah. All right, and then last and certainly not least is sitting at 107 on the TBR list, The Stand by Stephen King. So I added this in August of 2016, and this is actually a bit different from the others because I have gotten a good chunk of the way through this one. Oh, hey, my bookmark is here. So I got to page 385 in here. Holy crap, I was a nice chunk through. That's a whole ass book. But So this is Stephen King's story about a plague wiping out most of the world. And that is really to the point where I got, imagine America devastated by a vast killer plague that moves from coast to coast. Yeah. So I put this down because it was kind of depressing, to be honest. I think I read it right around the same time I added it to my TBR. And then I was like, I need to break. This is very heavy. So I put it down, and then the right time for it never came back because then COVID happened, and I was like not reading a book about the plague in the middle of the plague. But I do really want to get back to it someday. I'll have to reread the first 380 pages, of course, which is kind of a bummer because that's, like I said, that's a whole ass book. But this is actually my dad's favorite Stephen King novel, so I do want to read it and be able to talk about it with him. But not while COVID's going on. So those are 6 of the books that are currently on my never-ending TBR. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of them and what you thought. Which ones do you think I should pick up first? Don't forget to follow me over on my blog and on my Tumblr. The links are in the description box below. It has been great chatting with you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.